Hi everyone! So today's video is gonna be the battle of the Drugstore Dewy Luminous Foundations. So I have been wanting to do this video for quite some time now, and I had to put a lot of videos together. Like I wanted to actually put the foundations on and have a good idea of how I feel about each foundation that I'm gonna show you today. But I'm excited to do this video because when I started watching YouTube videos, I really wanted to find the best foundation for myself, and I didn't even knew that a dewy foundation was kind of the best foundations for dry skin. You can obviously use matte foundations, but I feel like if you have dry skin, you really are gonna like how a dewy foundation feels on the skin because it's not drying and it's just nice. So the four foundations I'm gonna show you is gonna be Maybelline Fit Me Dewy Plus Smooth, the Revlon ColorStay, the L'Oreal True Magic Lumi Foundation, and then finally the Covergirl Outlast Stay Luminous Foundation. Let's just get started. So the first foundation I found that it was a dewy finish was the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy Plus Smooth. This foundation has been around quite some time, and it was just called Maybelline Fit Me for I think it was targeted. It said that it was for dry skin, but now they put this new look thing that says Dewy Plus Smooth, and yeah, so they repackaged it, but it's the same formula than before. And I did a review on this foundation. It was one of my first videos, and I think it's the video that has the most views here on my channel. So it is not a new foundation, but it's yeah, they separated from like Dewy Plus Smooth and Matte and Poreless. This foundation, I have it in the shade 220 Natural Beige, and it is a very dewy foundation. It is you're gonna see in the clip that I show you how I apply it, it makes your skin look almost wet, and in a nice way, I will think. This foundation, you apply it and it never gets dry. It never feels like it sets, and it can get a little bit greasy, especially like in the summer, or especially in like areas where you get oily. Like I get oily here on my nose and sometimes around my chin. I can never say chin, I don't know why. And this foundation in this area right here starts melting on me, like it melts. And if you touch, I don't have it right now, I have another foundation, but if you touch your skin and you kind of feel it, not sticky, but like greasy. And it's hard to explain, but it feels like when you, like the feeling when you put a very heavy cream at night and you can feel the cream and you can feel how it's moisturizing your skin. That's how this one feels. So if you have super duper dry skin that no foundation works for you because it cracks, like it makes your skin even drier, this foundation might be amazing for you. That you're putting it is very moisturizing to the point that it can get greasy. So if you have any sort of oily skin, I don't recommend this one. If you want dewy finish but you have oily skin, this is definitely not the foundation for you. This is exclusively for dry skin because it's super greasy. In the summer, it's very hard to pull off, even for me that I have dry skin. This foundation is the cheapest of all the ones I'm gonna show you. It retails for $7.99, and it comes in 16 shades, and it just goes from like the lightest to the darkest. And I will say they run kind of neutral rather than cool tone or warm tone. I feel like one shade can be very cool tone and then the next one can be very warm. So it kind of goes one and like cool and warm and then neutral. This one, I will say it's kind of a neutral color, but it's my perfect shade. I really like it. So this is the swatch of the Maybelline Fit Me foundation right there. You can see it's really nice for my skin tone. My face is it's very similar to this part of my skin. Here I'm way darker, that's why I'm showing it how it looks right there. The second foundation that I want to mention is the Revlon ColorStay. This has a little sticker that says 24 hours, which I suppose it claims it lasts 24 hours. This one retails for $12.99. This one comes in 12 shades. This foundation has really nice coverage and it's really buildable, and it sets. It's super dewy and it makes your skin look nice and like healthy without looking greasy. It's a nice dewy foundation. You can build the coverage, and at the end of, like, when you finish applying your makeup, it really sets, and you can feel it set without cracking or without becoming matte or anything. It really keeps the dewiness, but it sets. So this is a really nice foundation. The downside to this foundation is that it comes in only 12 shades. At least that's what I'm finding in the website. I have it on the shade 320 True Beige. So the only problem that I have with the Revlon ones are the colors. They run extremely pink tone, and I'm gonna swatch it next to this one so you can see. Hold on, right there. Do you see that? So it is definitely more pink tone. It's not too pink that I cannot pull it off. I can definitely use it as it is, but they do run super pink. I will say all of them. Even the darkest ones are very pink tone. So this one is more pink, and you can see it here. This one is actually closer to my skin tone, and you can see this one, it's darker, but it also has very strong pink undertones. So it is hard for me to pull this shade off. That's better, right? It lasts on me a pretty good amount of time, and as I said, since it sets so nice into the skin, it gives you a beautiful skin for the entire day. It doesn't settle into any dry patches. It doesn't emphasize any pores. It's a really beautiful dewy foundation. The only con I have is the lack of, not the lack, but the really short range of shades. I think 12 is really short, but also they are super cool tone. Difference from the Maybelline Fit Me, as I said, they are kind of cool tone, warm tone, cool tone, warm tone. This one is super cool tone, and I just, yeah. If I'm not careful, I can look really like red. Like my face can look like very pink, and then the rest of my body super yellow, and it doesn't look nice then. The next one is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi. This foundation, I found it because I used the regular True Match foundation, which is kind of my first foundation ever, but this one has a beautiful luminous finish. I have it in the shade W6, and I'm gonna swatch it right there. There. So you can see it. It's darker than the first one, but it's super gold. Can you see that? It's super nice and gold. It sits really nice on the skin. It never feels like greasy, but also doesn't feel like it's dry on your skin. It's just, I will say it's very similar to the Revlon one, and the feeling that it gives you and the finish. The big difference is the selection of shades that you get with the L'Oreal True Match Lumi. It comes, I think, in 15 shades, but they separate them from cool tones, warm tones, and neutrals. And it's really nice because it's easy to find your shade, because if you know your undertone, and you can either mix different undertones or just go to the neutral if you're not sure. I just really think it's a better idea like this. So that one is right here. Really like it. It's definitely darker than my skin tone in my face, but I really like it for summer. So that foundation lasts on my skin a very good amount of time. I will say it's like a light to medium coverage. Not sure it is buildable, but to me it doesn't remind me of a lot of coverage. It reminds me of beautiful skin. I will say if you want to make it full coverage, maybe add some Covergirl or something. It's kind of a nice light to medium coverage, but it really, like, I couldn't ask more of the foundation. It's really nice. You probably can build it up to full coverage, but to me, just one layer, really like how it looks. It blends really nicely if you take, like, I really take my time blending it, but it really gives you a beautiful dewy finish. It lasts, I will say, the 8 hours of a day. It's a beautiful foundation. It's definitely will say my favorite foundation that I have found so far, especially for Drugstore, high-end, doesn't matter. It's my favorite foundation. It doesn't have any sort of like, none of those three have any sort of like glitter or anything sparkly. It's just the finish is dewy. And this retails for $12.99 at Ulta. And the fourth one is the Covergirl Outlast Stay Luminous Foundation. This foundation is super new. I just did a review on it. I will put the review down below. This foundation, it's not dewy. I was going to not include it, but I wanted to include it because a lot of people think it's dewy or luminous, I will say, because of the claim. But this foundation, it's very different from the other ones that I show you. Those three are dewy. Dewy meaning that your skin looks almost like watery in a good way, or like if you were producing the right amount of oils in your skin and it makes your skin look dewy, like contrary to being matte. This foundation is luminous, and what that is, I think, the finish, it's not dewy by any means. The finish is like any other foundation, that it's not really matte, but it's not dewy. You know, that in between kind of satiny finish. What makes it luminous is that it has teeny tiny little super micro glittery things inside, like super small. Don't get scared. That makes, and I hope you can see it in the demo that I'm gonna put, it gives a really nice foundation to your skin. It's not dewy. It's definitely good for like oily to dry skin, but since it has those little like goldeny things, it makes your skin luminous. But it's not a dewy foundation. I would not say this is dewy. This is in another category. Another thing about this foundation that I actually don't like is that it's very sticky. When it sets, it feels sticky. Like if you will have tape on it, you know, when you do a tape and you feel it's sticky, that's how your skin feels. It doesn't feel greasy, it feels sticky. It's super weird. I can get around with it because I'm not usually, like, I'm not constantly touching my skin, but it can bother people. So because it is kind of a hardcore foundation, it really lasts all day. Like, it really lasts all day, and it just gives you luminosity to your skin. The super big con of this foundation, for me, it's the range. I think it's very new and they haven't come up with a lot of shades, but I only have found that it comes in 7 shades. Like, come on, 7 shades, that's nothing. I picked the shade 842 because the shade that came, the next one, I think it was 855 or something, that it was darker, it was way more pink. It was like, whoa, like it was extremely pink tone. This is still pink tone. We're gonna be able to tone the swatch. Hold on. I hope I'm not making a mess. Just gonna put it right here. This one's still very pink tone, but it's kind of a neutral to pink. It's not extremely pink, but you can see how it's like way too light for me. It's way too light for me. It's obviously not my right shade. This is like my winter shade. I cannot pull this off in the summer, but you can see in the demo how I apply it and I actually kind of start bronzing and all. But I swear, if I pick the shade next, like the one that came above, it was way more pink tone than this one, the Revlon. I just couldn't make it work. And if you see my review about this foundation, the way I go around something like this, I mix it with a little bit of this. This is in G50, and it's very gold and it's very dark, so it really fixes the foundation, and I can still use it and get the properties of the foundation with the right shade. If I picked the shade that it was way darker, there was no fixing it. So that's my reasoning why I got this shade. It's mostly like a regular foundation, good coverage, and those little golden things that has, they're really small, kind of reflect light, and that's what makes it luminous. Hope that makes sense. So yeah, this one retails for $11.99. I couldn't find it at Ulta website, but in the at most websites was $11.99. So those were the 4 foundations that I wanted to show you that I feel that are drugstore and very popular. If I missed anything, let me know if you have more like recommendations for dewy skin foundations from the drugstore, so I maybe can find them and review them for you. So wrapping this thing up, I will say definitely this is my 3rd option. I will use this for days that I want my makeup to last like 12 hours because I know it will hold it, and especially if I put my custom Cover FX drops. But for like every day, I don't like it. I don't like the stickiness. It's not like a moisturizing thing. It's just sticky. It's weird. Yeah, so this one will be my last, my number 4th. And then in 3rd place, I will say the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. I love this foundation. I just think for the summer it doesn't work for me. It melts down. But for the winter, this foundation is awesome. And then definitely 2nd place, the Revlon ColorStay. Beautiful foundation. I wish it wasn't as pink tone as you can see right here. But it's a beautiful foundation. I really like the finish, and I really like how the coverage and how will it last on my skin. And of course, my holy grail foundation still is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi foundation. This foundation, just when I found it, I couldn't believe how good it is. And I still, every time I use it, I feel like I'm putting a high-end foundation on my skin. It really applies beautifully. It gives you a beautiful finish. It lasts, I will say it lasts like 8 hours on my skin before it starts, like, you know, my little imperfections start like showing off. But for every day, like, you couldn't ask for more. If you like to look luminous without looking greasy, with me, I feel like everybody needs this in their collection. So yeah, that is it for my Battle of the Drugstore Dewy and Luminous foundation video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos, and I will see you next time. Bye!